This tutorial is on the ratio test. So if you have a sub n and the limit as n approaches infinity of a sub n plus 1 over a sub n equals L, then if L is less than 1, the series a to the n converges. If L is greater than 1, the series a to the n diverges. And if L equals 1, then we don't know. You use the ratio test when a sub n has an n factorial or an a to the n, so for factorials or exponents. And the ratio test can also be used to find the interval of convergence and the radius of convergence. Since standard notation can be a bit confusing, we're going to do an example of the ratio test. So we have the series starting at n equals 0 going to infinity of 4 to the n over n factorial. And since we have both a number to the nth power and an n factorial, we know that we should probably use the ratio test to find whether it converges or diverges. So to do this, we're going to find the limit as n approaches infinity of a to the n plus 1 over a to the n. So a sub n plus 1 means that you replace all of the n's with n plus 1, so we would have 4 to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 factorial over a to the n, which is the original, or a sub n, which is the original series, so over 4 to the n over n factorial. And since we have a fraction over a fraction, the a to the n, a sub n plus 1 over a sub n is the same as a sub n plus 1 times the reciprocal of a sub n. So this equals the limit as n approaches infinity 4 to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 factorial times n factorial over 4 to the n. And now you can simplify this. So we have 4 to the n plus 1 over 4 to the n. And so the 4 to the n's cancel out, so on the top you're just left with 4 to the 1, which is just 4. And then the n factorial over n plus 1 factorial simplifies to just n plus 1. So this equals the limit as n approaches infinity 4 over n plus 1. And as n approaches infinity, the denominator will get closer to infinity, so then we'll have 4 over infinity, and since infinity is on the bottom of that fraction, this will equal 0, and then 0 is our L value, and 0 is less than 1, so L is less than 1, which means that the series converges. And that is how you do the ratio test.